I know a lot of people are saying, oh, for heaven's sake, it's just a photograph. And lots of people, as Kate has admitted on X or Twitter this afternoon, lots of people dabble in amateur editing, photoshopping, family snaps. We all know getting kids to look in the same direction and smile at the same time can be difficult. But I'm afraid to say that this is more serious than that, in my opinion, because this photograph wasn't just being put out on Facebook or put out on Instagram. It was being sent to picture agencies who were then taking responsibility for that picture and saying and then sending that picture out to the rest of the world. And if you receive a picture from a picture agency, you have to assume that it's valid, that it hasn't been tinkered with, that it hasn't been changed in any way. They're very, very strict about that. And I think that is the reason why such a hullabaloo has been made about this issue. And, of course, the fact that with this photograph, the palace were obviously trying to reassure people and say the conspiracy theorists saying there's something we're not being told, don't know anything. There's nothing to see. Look at this lovely photograph. We're fine. Kate's fine. Move on. And they've actually, instead of moving us on, they've created even more conspiracy and suspicion.
I mean, these aren't just, a few picture agencies. These are the world's picture agencies.
Yeah.
These are the big picture agencies, the American, AFP, the French, Agence France Presse, Associated Press in America, Press Association here, Reuters, Getty. These are massive. These are the world's picture agencies. And all of these picture agencies, they will accept a little bit of editing because all photographs often are touched up a bit. What they've clearly decided is this photo isn't just edited and photoshopped, it's massively photoshopped to the extent they don't even believe it's a genuine photograph. That's why they've killed it, recalled it. I mean, it's an extraordinary step. And then you get this statement from Kate saying, like a lot of amateur photographs. What are you talking about? This is Kensington Palace. Yeah. This is a crucial picture that was supposed to stop the speculation about Kate's health. And then you get like many amateur... What are you doing? Why are you putting out an amateur photograph taken by an amateur photographer, i.e. Allegedly William, although do we believe this or not? Who knows what to believe now? And then edited by a self-confessed amateur. What the hell do they think they're doing?
The original plan, which was she won't be seen in public until Easter. That would have been so much simpler than this, which was trying, as you say, trying to damp down all the speculation, and instead has got the whole of the internet, doing their spying and their...
But this is the thing, is that Kensington Palace are absolutely asleep at the wheel, and the PR and comms team have thrown the Princess of Wales under the bus. There's no way in hell she should have put out that statement signed by herself saying, amateur photography, I'm very, very sorry. That's why you employ people to do that for you. Where are they? What are they doing? And then there's also the question of trust, because if we can't trust the images that they are putting out and purporting to be, this is a lovely family image that we took in Windsor last week that we know that was edited on Friday night, and we know from the metadata it was edited on Friday night, edited again on Saturday morning. We know what camera it was taken on. We know lots of things about the picture, right? And you're trying to still tell us that it was taken last week in Windsor. And it now comes to a point where if we can't believe that image is real, what else can we not believe that you have told us?
Well, why did no one around them say, when Kate submitted the picture to them, why did no one say, we're cutting this off, this is terrible.
Exactly.
This looks really bad, we're cutting this to Reuters and co.
Exactly.
But also, I really hated it last week when people like yourself, Afia, people like you, Daisy, all you royal reporters and experts were going on TV and saying, we're not going to be using the photograph that paparazzi have taken of beloved Princess Catherine.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, exactly. I hated that. And now, this proves, actually, we should be using the paparazzi more. Because, actually, we can slam the paparazzi as much as we want. They're not editing and manipulating pictures. Yeah, these people have edited and manipulated their own photographs to try and paint a picture for the world, which we now can see through.
Just to clarify. No, just to clarify, because you've made a good point, but just to clarify, with that paparazzi image, that is certain media houses, I know which I work for, by the way, but certain media houses decided themselves that they are not going to use backdoor paparazzi shots.
Self-censoring.
You know, they've self-censored themselves. So, you know, people like Daisy and myself were talking about the picture. Let's talk about the picture that nobody can see. Let me just describe it for you. That was fun, wasn't it, Daisy? You know,
actually, I was able to show it because I was working for an American network.
And I was working for a Canadian outfit, and we did show it, so we could talk about it. But UK outlets couldn't talk about it. And that's the self-censoring that they've decided to do. But when it comes to this, that purports to be true, that comes from Kensington Palace, I mean, how many of the front papers this morning had that picture on it, on the papers, you guys?
Do we believe? Do we believe William took this picture?
No.
Do we believe
it's got his byline.
she's
Well, that's
getting better?
actually...
Do we believe that she's very... We don't know what to believe because they now put themselves in a position where we can't trust them. We cannot trust Kensington Palace right now. And that is a shambles. How on earth they let this happen is beyond me. They're supposed to be professional. This is important. And this is a swirling mass of amateur hour hopelessness. It really is.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, King Charles has thanked the public for their support during his cancer battle in a video message celebrating Commonwealth Day. In a virtual address to Westminster Abbey, he called for unity and pledged to continue serving the family of nations. The King described diversity as the Commonwealth's core strength and said the 56 countries comprising it were a precious source of strength and inspiration and pride to him.
In recent weeks, I have been most deeply touched by your wonderfully kind and thoughtful good wishes for my health, and in return, can only continue to serve you to the best of my ability throughout the Commonwealth.
Prince William joined Queen Camilla for the service along with other senior members of the royal family. The day's theme of resilience came as the firm grappled with how to manage intense public interest in the King and the Princess of Wales's health issues. And, you know, the irony here is that you've got the King there in that video talking about unity and resilience and strength, and the family is, to coin a phrase from Glasgow, all over the shop. You're all over the shop, and it just is an absolute shambles. And I think, you know, that theme of resilience that the King is wanting to put forth with the Commonwealth is just not going to land well, because if your house is not in order, how do you expect to take that to the Commonwealth? These 56 countries, some of which do not even want you to be head of state anymore. You've got Barbados that left the last few years. You've got Jamaica that are thinking about it. And other countries like Canada, Australia, you know, they're all going to go down that road where they don't really want to have the royal family as head of state. And it's situations like this where the royal family look like they're in a shambles, where the right hand's not talking to the left hand. They just don't want to be a part of that. Why are we going to have the Kardashians, the pseudo-Kardashians, the UK Kardashians, the head of state? They don't want it.
I think this shows King Charles in a really good light, and it shows that he's showing Kate and William how things should be. Yes, he's battling cancer, and he's still saying he still wants to lead. Kate and William, with this photograph shambles, have overshadowed the Commonwealth Day, which should be massive. It should be a huge deal. No one's, I mean, we're talking about it now, barely, but it's been completely overshadowed by their mistakes, and they're going to continue to make these mistakes.
Can I say that this is about the sort of the palace, the whole royal kind of communication system. And we're not so long ago, we all got lost in wonder, saying, "Isn't it fantastic?" You know, the Queen, the King has turned around and he's confessed to the nation, or told us that he's got cancer. And we go, "That's amazing! It's so transparent." What kind of cancer? Well, I'm not telling you. You know, what with Kate? Oh, she's had abdominal surgery. Won't be seen again till he said, "Oh, isn't that amazing? So transparent." What kind of abdominal surgery? We're not telling you. If they just give us dribs and drabs, if they just feed us tidbits, they are forming a situation where speculation will go through the roof. So this communication system, we can give you a little bit of information, but we're not giving you any more. Why won't they release the original photograph that William allegedly took? What's the problem with that? I'll tell you what the problem from their point of view is, that we only get what they decide to give us, and it's not good enough, and they're in big trouble because you cannot just feed us tidbits.
But Kevin, the issue with the original photograph, which of course people are now assuming, is they are not showing us the original photograph because it wasn't taken last week, as a fear was saying. I'm not saying that's the case, but that's what people are now assuming. They're assuming that it was taken months and months ago. ago and somehow made to look like it was last week, and therefore there's something going on.
I'll tell you what, if that is true, though, Daisy, they are in big trouble, because that means they're lying to us. That's outrageous.
And this is why so many people are saying, show us the original photo, so we know you're not lying, so there isn't something. And just on the Commonwealth, it is such a crying shame, I think, for Charles, because no matter what you think about Charles, the Commonwealth and the environment are the two things I think that he cares most about. And his environmental campaigning was one of the reasons why he was elected unanimously to be, you know, it's not a hereditary title being head of the Commonwealth. He was elected by them, and he clearly, passionately wants to be there. And he's got Chogham coming up, which is the big meeting in October. Rishi Sunak's probably not going to be there because he'll probably be in the middle of an election campaign. And now Charles may well not be there. And William has blotted his copybook with the Commonwealth from the last tour he went on. So I think today was a really significant day for Charles, and he will have felt it was absolutely ruined by everything, all the other stuff we've been talking about.
I just need to say,
countries still in the Commonwealth.
None of this is intentional, though. You're being really tough on that. I think this is cock-up rather than conspiracy. I think they've messed up. I think Catherine and Kate have tried to do the right thing, then putting out her half-finished statement.
Yeah.
Well,
that's not messing up.
But it shouldn't be on our shoulders.
We know she's alive. We know she's in a car with William today. We know she's all right. She probably didn't look great.
Then what about the picture? What about a picture that wasn't true?
But that's what I'm saying. I think it was messing up rather than anything intentional. But you also...
They're lying. Cut them slack for lying.
They are due a certain amount of privacy as well.
Why?
This is a woman who is probably not well, and we hope she's recovering.
She put the picture out.
But Emma makes a really valid point, and we don't know whether it's lying or cock-up or conspiracy. And so many times we know from politics and Ross that you create a snowball effect by trying to cover and cover and cover.
That's why they have PR and comms teams. It shouldn't be Catherine the Princess of Wales doing any of this.
Sidelined them. I think they've gone beyond them.
They've gone rogue.
Sorry, yes.
I
think they're just tweeting stuff.
I don't think so. The problem that it always has been over the years, the various terrible screw-ups that the royal family have had with public communications have been to do with the fact that invariably, not always, but invariably, the royal press office is full of chinless, useless wonders who are just deferential. Who just say, oh, you want to edit the picture? Go ahead, Mum. Yes, Mum.
I wonder whether Wills and Kate are bypassing them altogether, though.
They need to turn... Some of these people, now and again, they get professionals in who turn around to the royal family and say, you can't do that. You've got to do this. This is the way you've got to do it. And they clearly need some people in that communications office right now telling William, Charles and the gang where
on that note of total unity, I think we are all agreed the grown-ups need to start running that operation. We shall move on.